how to do traveling groups.
This is our project audit report. I'm Heather, Redima, and Antonio. We are team number 3. Why we won. We finished in first place, and we were in first place for every one of the periods. The reasoning is that we chose average candidates to avoid a bidding war so that we could get the people that we wanted. Our candidates were well-rounded. For example, we chose a marketing manager with great interpersonal skills. So also we had a plan for periods 1 through 12 from the beginning. We knew exactly when we were hiring people, who we needed to hire when, and we had a closing strategy from the very beginning.
Yeah, and we're not bragging. No.
But not as great of working skills, but it's important for the marketing manager to have the interpersonal skills. So we took a different approach than the typical teams. Our functionality finished low, but that helped us keep our costs down, and we finished first in all of the categories except for functionality.
We're not bragging.
We're not bragging. No. And also another strategy we had to keep our time. We finished exactly to the day on time. And what we did was we put 2 workers on critical path tasks. So anytime there was something that was on the critical path, we made sure that it was finished on time and was not behind. Also, we hired a diverse group of workers. We had different ages. We made sure we had men and women, and that they were from different countries, but not too diverse, so they could still work well together. Our key was that we read the manual. All of these things were in the manual, and it told us exactly what to do. We also utilized Microsoft Project, as Dr. Utley told us to. The tracking Gantt is how we knew what was on the critical path, who we needed to put where, and that was essential to our success. And this is just a cute little cartoon that one of the main reasons that we did win is that we worked together. We never got in any fights. We kind of bounced ideas off of each other and listened. So why do I have to go first? There's no I in team. So working as a team really benefits everyone.
These were the project process guidelines that were adopted by us. Before we started the project, we had a little discussion, not much, about how to go about it. So we discussed and created strategies on how to appoint people, what people do we need at what time, and knew who we wanted to hire and when. That's exactly what we did. Like, we didn't hire people prior to the periods. We did exactly when we wanted it. And our decisions were supported by facts from MS Project that we had guided throughout the periods. We had a check on that. And this helped us to work well together and avoid disagreements. We were quite good together as a team.
Yeah, here the basic also is what we were trying to anticipate. So we were exploring some other scenarios. What will happen if we don't get this person?
Yeah.
What will happen if we get behind? So we were trying to say, okay, if this happens, then maybe somebody that is not trained exactly, we will put him in training.
Yeah.
If something happens, then we can start getting some other people to do
We never
the job.
kept anybody on the bench as such.
Yeah.
We put them in training or we fired them if we didn't need them. The process influenced by relative contributions of our members. We are a group of diverse people with diverse background. I myself am an engineer. Professor Antonio is is an engineer himself, and Heather is into marketing. So it helped us knowing the responsibilities in a project of different people. Like what does an engineer have to do, or what a marketing person has to do. So that's what we have discussed here. That Pradima, basically that's me, I'm from India and I'm a computer engineer, and I have little experience in working on research projects. Heather, she is born in US and is an MBA student with a lot of experience, but she has zero project experience. And Antonio, who was born and raised in Mexico, an assistant professor in the ECTT department, and he has extensive project experience that you could see.
In theory.
In theory, right.
So this is a cartoon about kind of ego. This guy is saying, could you hire some other employees? The ones you have just can't get along with me. So what is the problem? The other employees or this guy? So this is not part of the team. He wants a team that agrees with him. So everybody has to agree, everybody has to have the vision and work to our common goal.
Yeah.
And that was really our key to success, was that we worked well together, there was no egos, and
You need to be a good listener in a team and put your views in the right way.
So in this case, we didn't finish first in all our runs whenever we were doing the simulations. We were, I think, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th place. But what happened is at the beginning, maybe we didn't read the manual, so we learned that reading the manual is going to help us. We didn't look at MS Project. We didn't also know what the project was all about. So it was kind of fast, kind of learning. But then whenever we finished, we said, okay, we don't know what we were doing, so now let's plan on what we need to do as a group. So that is, for example, that we try to work, okay, whenever we were doing the individual, what went wrong, what we were doing. For example, I went out of money at some point because I was paying too much, while other people pay $1 or $2 more and they get the resources. So we learn from all those experiences.
I was just going to say, for example, when we were doing individuals, I had personally split up my tasks into 2 people, but I'd give them each 50%, and that didn't work really well for me. So when we talked as a group, Antonio said, no, I put my people at 100% for every project. That way they finish it and give it 100% of their attention, and that was a key also for us doing well, is that all of our people focused on one task at a time before completing it. And without Antonio and I together, we may not have been able to, and then Radima's engineering experience, it all just kind of came together that we each had taken something from the individual, and that something was something that the others didn't know. So together, working together, we kind of figured out the game from our different experiences. So what were the top 5 lessons that we learned from this project? Number 1 is we learned a couple times, luckily we did have contingency plans, but if there's a valuable candidate that you want, you must pay for that candidate. And we tried to underbid a few times and lost candidates that we really wanted to other groups, but we did overcome, and we just put our candidates in training that weren't as good. And that also led to our functionality being low. Our second key lesson that we learned is that you have to anticipate what the tasks will be ahead of time, and you have to have a contingency plan in place in case something does go wrong, and to train the required resources. The third was the tracking Gantt is imperative during the project. Without using the tracking Gantt, we definitely would not have done as well as we did, and Antonio really mastered the MS project with that, and it was imperative to our...
You need to know the critical path so that you can assign people at 100%
what we did is, for example, when I was looking at the tracking grant, Redeem and Heather, they were looking at the particular people that we were going to hire, trying to see their expertise, seeing which tasks required a particular expertise that were on the critical path, and maybe we have to overbid on those guys so we can get them. So we're trying to analyze which are the tasks that are important, and also we throw away quarter parties, some way of, let's say, encouraging the teams, and we were giving some kind of bonuses and pizza party on a quarter, because we were doing first place, not to brag again. But maybe we think that improved, and since we didn't fire the people, also, I don't know, the self-esteem and the coherence of the group was part of it by not seeing their colleagues being fired. That, let's say, boosts the morale of the overall group.
Yeah, it definitely did. And one of the essential tasks that we think led to the downfall of the other teams that helped us is do not try to block other groups. By blocking other groups, by taking too many resources, I know in the beginning one of the groups did not get a project manager due to this, and all it does is it eats up your funds, and it really isn't helping your team when you have too many people. So that was something Dr. Edley had told us at the beginning, but I think that was why kind of a couple of the other groups didn't do it as well. Also, like we've said throughout, it's important to listen to the ideas of others. If you don't work well as a team, you cannot be as effective as you have the potential to be. And I think that was really the key to our team, is we didn't have an ego. We all came in finishing in the middle. We knew no one knew more than the others, and we worked well, and we bounced ideas off of each other and really, really listened to the ideas that the others had and tried them. In addition, not to brag again, but I think this also was easier being in first place because we didn't have the stress of trying to overcome. We kind of had a nice cushion to try things that people had ideas for, and we had the room to fall and still stay on top. So I think that the stress level of our team was much lower than the other teams, and that really helped us to work well together.
Okay, so I'm Antonio, thank you very much. If you have questions, you can email me at afmii@rit.edu.
Heather Kervin, thank you. You also, Antonio and I are gone today, so you can email me if you think of a question that we did not answer for you.
Yeah, and she's going to be in Cancun laughing at all of us.
Yes, so I'm on vacation, so hope you're having fun in class.
And I'm Redeema, and I'll be in class if you have any questions to be asked.
So any questions you have to ask, Redeema will be here, so ask away.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye.